Hello and welcome back to Formula Trout. Welcome back to the Sprint Series. And you join us here as we head to round 5 of this current season at one of the greatest racing circuits in the world. You join us here at Silverstone. My name is Ross McIntyre, back in the Formula Trout commentary box. Joining me is Angel Aruvalo. Angel, great to have you alongside me. We're here, we're back with the Formula Trout Sprint Series. It's been a fantastic season so far. What can we expect coming into Silverstone?
Silverstone, tight battle for points. I don't have it off the top of my head, but it's been a close battle for points. A few of the younger guys missed last round. Stevenson missed last round, so he wasn't able to defend the points lead he has, and I think he actually got overtaken, if I remember correctly. So a lot of the youngers are going to try to catch back up in the standings. I think it might be another younger car that's leading. I'll have to check, though.
Well, we shall wait and see. The drivers, though, the qualifying session has just begun. So we are waiting to get ready for our qualifying session. As I said, that they are actually heading out for their qualifying session for this 5th round. So we'll be seeing the drivers all heading out. You can see almost coming together in the pit lane. As Angel said, though, very, very close in the championship standings. And every race we have had so far that has been a championship, including race, a different winner every single time. Ridiculous stuff. 13 points separates Cody Lawrence from Max Junger, with E3 Stevenson, the American driver, a further 2 behind the Junger GP German team boss. And then the first non-Junger GP driver in championship standings, only a point further behind Stevenson. That's Jaap Wagenbroek. Jack Oliver is just behind him as well with 7 points. It is very, very tight in this championship table. And it is anyone's guess how it is all going to head off today. Of course, it's been I say a long season. It's been flying by, this sprint series, in the season 7 here at Formula Trout. It's flying by so fast that I've not been around for any of it, and then Max has managed to pull me in without a microphone while I'm on holiday, hence my terrible audio quality, but we'll make the most of it anyway, as we see some drivers already heading off the track there. But, Angel, as we go into qualifying, Silverstone, it's a very, very tricky circuit. It's a circuit that's beloved by drivers and fans alike.
It's even from the Americas, it's very fun in really any car. Obviously, open wheelers, F1, F2, F3, any junior Formula Series comes here all the time. It has great racing here. It's an all-time classic. I think we're going to see that here in Trout, too.
I'm sure we will. We've had many a great race here in Formula Trout, both in the Sprint Series and in the Premier Series. As we continue, the drivers starting their opening laps in this qualifying session, of course, in their mighty Dallara F317 car, which, well, I say underloved, seemingly out of date nowadays in modern motorsport, but in a set, of course, that's still very much alive, and one that will always race very, very well around here. So we'll see how it all unfolds, but it should be very, very interesting as it all unfolds. Making our way, following Antoine Bunn as it stands, coming through Brooklands and Luffield before we head onto the old pit straight. One of the, and let's say this, entering what is, in my opinion, the greatest stretch of racetrack in the world anywhere, coming out of Luffield now. In this car, slight braking downshift into Copse Corner, looking very stable from the Frenchman, though. Flies on through now, Maggots and Beckett's to go. Through the left, then the right, flat out. Do not hesitate, do not lift until about now, then you're down 2 gears. And the left-hander of Chapel and on to the back straight of Wellington. And flying downhill, using that slipstream, using gravity as you go downhill to your advantage before the monstrous Stowe corner, a corner that really separates the wheat from the chaff. But it looks pretty solid from the French driver.
Yeah, and Anthony Bunn for Impact Blue, currently sitting 6th in the championship. Solid midfield results, no wins and no podiums yet, but he is a solid driver, and he did race in the Premier Series too. So
Should be interested to see what he can do. Antoine Bunn, of course, he exploded onto the Formula Trout and the Assetto Corsa scene some time ago when he first turned up in the Formula Trout Premier Series and really made an impression for himself. But unfortunately, this sprint series not quite going his way so far, yet to take a race victory. So we'll see if today is the day he can even sneak onto the podium, yet alone a race win as this qualifying session ticks away. 7 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock as we see some more drivers negotiating their way around and pushing through, well, quite literally pushing their way through the bollards. Of course, in a set of courses, sometimes bollards, they're imaginary, they're not quite realistic as they now fly through Stowe. In the background there, Silverstone 6, the best grandstand at the circuit in this commentator's humble opinion. Let's talk about the championship though, Angel. It's been a very exciting season so far again. With every race we've had that counts towards championship points, we've had a different race winner every single time and a whole host of different drivers all over the shop. But Cody Lawrence currently leading the way, and he's got a bit of an advantage with 13 points, the gap back to Max. Coming up to the halfway point of the season, do you think this is the moment where he really needs to stake his championship claim?
Yeah, the championship, obviously Steve Stevenson missed the last round in Wisconsin at Road America, personal favorite track of mine, so he lost a good amount of points. But that race was chaotic in and of itself, and not many people, and chaos with the results and everything, and the incidents. So a lot of people who were in the top of the leaderboard or the standings didn't really get that much points. See, Cody Lawrence only got the win, but only got 7th in round 2, which gives you less points. So not the best haul from him or any of the younger drivers that appeared. But yeah, I think now this race is gonna have to show his pace, try to stake a claim in that championship, extend the gap to his teammates. But that's gonna be a hard task with how fast Stevenson is, as he's on pole right now with 47.9 as the leaderboard appears.
We'll have to wait and see. Stevenson currently with the fastest lap of this qualifying session so far. The American driver in practice across the last week did set the fastest lap time. Said it yesterday, or 2 days ago should I say, in fact, a 1:48.009. And he's actually gone even faster than that in this qualifying session. So maybe potentially getting the tow from drivers in front, maybe the conditions, maybe the track feeling a little bit faster, suiting the Dallara F317 that much better on this occasion. But once again, the Junger GP car looking absolutely dominant as we head into this one. There we see Jack Oliver making his way through the loop into turn 4 and onto the Hangar straight as he flies on down. Again, he was also very quick in practice, the 3rd fastest time overall in our practice sessions. So Jack Oliver currently P5 in the championship for Macca Racing. Of course, taking a race win as well at race number 2 at Imola, a podium at race number 1 at Interlagos, but missing the last round at Road America. He'll be looking to try and get his way back onto the podium. As there we do see the man himself, Maxi Junger, team boss of Junger GP, taking the motorcycle racing line through the Vale chicane. That's the section of track that they use for MotoGP and World Superbikes and the like. Not sure we're quite using it here in the Formula Trout Sprint Series, but you know, may as well try and go for it. And I'll tell you exactly why he's gone for it. It's because he's trying to get a tow from the driver in front. Let's go on board with Max Junger, shall we? Into the loop, turn number 3. Misses the sausage curve by a few inches. Could have taken a bit more there, and again through turn number 3 at the loop. A little bit left on the table from the German, but pushing very, very hard onto the Hangar straight now. Now it's just foot to the floor. Pray to the drag gods that you haven't got enough on you, that your downforce is low enough, that you have enough straight line speed banging against the rev limiter as he bashes down the gears, misses the apex through Brooklands, now into Luffield, prefers to take the 1 apex line there instead of the alternate 2 apex line that you do see from a lot of drivers nowadays in sim racing. Flies past the old pit building, and now the infamous Cops corner, one of the hardest corners on the circuit, but keeps it in Maxi Younger. That was brilliant through there. Now the German has Magazan Beckett to negotiate with as he flies on through. Left, right, and then the left of Chapel. Synchronized swimming through there from the drivers. Perfect through there, running a little bit wide, maybe a touch of the grass. But that is actually the line that you want to try and take. It's actually faster to just touch the grass before you get to the curb into Chapel, running a lot of the curb on the entry into Stowe, leaving a lot on the inside into Stowe as well, and maybe even abandoning the lap. He is abandoning the lap, is Maxi Younger, so Younger decides that is not the lap to go for. Still got time to go for another one. As it stands though, Angel, Stevenson's currently sitting very, very solidly at the top of the timesheet. He's got 0.3 of a second ahead of anybody else. Currently, it's looking like his weekend to lose.
Yeah, very convincing pace from the American driver from Maryland, the state. But no, I think just that last lap from the timing sheets here, Thomas Barberi did set the fastest first sector out of anyone in the session. So it's not like he's a bit under pressure. Cody Lawrence setting a time 0.2 behind Steve Stevenson's teammate. And I wouldn't count out Jack Oliver too. Very competitive driver. Brazil was I point back to Brazil and Interlagos. 2 incidents in each race, heading him to the back of the grid, and him coming back up from basically around P18, P20 to getting on the podium in that first race and recovering it, and also in race 2 for a P5 finish. He's a fast driver, and every race he's been in shows it. So I wouldn't count him out for pole position. I wouldn't count Cody Lawrence out for pole position either.
Well, we shall wait and see what is going to unfold over the final few minutes of this qualifying session.
As Cody Lawrence does set the fastest first sector too. 29.547 for Cody Lawrence first sector. I'll keep track of his lap currently right now to see if he sets an even faster second sector.
Looking very, very tasty is Cody Lawrence there.
47.5.
Looking pretty comfortable. Yeah, looking very, very fast is Cody Lawrence. Coming out of Chapel looking very, very comfortable. It must be said from the championship leader.
Yeah, only around, at the end of sector 2, was only around 0.06 thousandths away from Steve Stevenson's time. Let's see if he can regain that time in the final sector. Trying to pin it out of here. The chicane into the last corner. Let's see if he can beat his teammate's time. As he crosses the line, what will he set? No, he just barely misses out, I think. Yeah, 48.1. He's around a 10th off.
Well, he's got time to go for another one if he so chooses, if the tyres are not overheated, if the rubber is not melting here in the Northamptonshire sun. Let's see what happens. Checkered flag is now out in this qualifying session, and Cody Lawrence is going for another one. Stevenson currently on pole position with a 47.986. Just under 2 tenths of a second away. Well, here's Jack Lawrence. Jack Oliver. Taking a bit more speed in there. He's 0.3 of a second down on his previous best lap. Oh, getting very sideways out of the Vale chicane into Club Corner and to the line. What's going to be from Jack Oliver? And I don't think it will be an improvement. It is not an improvement. He will stay in 3rd position. But still some drivers, Angel, out on a lap.
Yeah, and Jack Oliver was so close to beating Cody Lawrence. I think that just tiny mistake coming out of that chicane just fully ruined his lap there, and it's going to keep him P3. Cody Lawrence is obviously on his 2nd flying lap, but he doesn't seem to be improving that much either. Personal best 2nd sector, but he did not improve in the 1st. So I think Cody Lawrence may keep his pole position for race 1.
We shall wait and see the last few drivers making their way through the Vale chicane. A few drivers abandoning the lap as well. Can anyone challenge Stevenson? Cody Lawrence still on a lap. Wait and see what he does. As Jaap Wagenvoort comes into the pits, he'll have to settle for P4. And indeed he does come, so he will stay in P4. A great effort from the Dutchman, it must be said. Is Cody Lawrence out on track, or has the session ended? I believe the session may have ended, but there's a few drivers still going round. And is that Cody Lawrence crossing the line now? And I believe he's not improved. So I think it may be, Angel, that Stevenson is going to be sat on pole position.
Yeah, the last driver I think right now to cross the line who has on board the lap is the DAC driver of Helios Panos, who currently sits P14, and see if he can improve and maybe even get into the top 10 as he crosses the line locally set. Up to P13, it is an improvement above Vanette. Kevin Vanette.
Lovely, lovely lap there from Helios Panos to get him into P13 on the grid for race number 1. But that is it. Checkered flag is out in this qualifying session for round number 5 of the Formula Trout Sprint Series Season 7. And it is the American Stevenson sitting on the pole position by nearly 0.2 of a second from championship leader Cody Lawrence. Jack Oliver starts in third with the Jack Wagenball in P4. Should be very interesting. Of course, 2 races to look forward to tonight. Race number 1, where we'll be starting as we see it, and race number 2 from the reverse grid. What can we expect to see from there?
Reverse grid, so the top 10 of this qualifying session will be flipped. So instead of Steve Stevenson on pole, you will be seeing Maximilian Younger for his teammate. Maximilian Younger, the team owner, starting from pole position, being alongside Anthony Bunn for Impact Blue. And behind them would be the drivers Sean Morteri and Martin Venterland in row 2. So you're going to get to see all these guys setting insane times at the top of the leaderboard currently, having to fight through the grid, which is bound to create some drama, as we saw back in the last round of Road America.
Drama, tension, excitement, you name it. We have it all here at the Formula Trout Sprint Series. Formula Trout, of course, the premier Assetto Corsa racing series, where the best of the best in this fine Italian sim come to prove their worth against others. And while the Premier Series, of course, is the one that we always like to write home about, the one that we always like to talk about, the Sprint Series often provides the better racing. Or it does so, in my opinion. Anyway, we are moments away from making our way out to the grid and for our 6 red lights to appear. Once again, it is Stevenson on pole. Cody Lawrence alongside. If you are just joining us, hello and welcome. You are just in time for race number 1 here of round 5 in the Formula Trout Sprint Series Season 7 here at Silverstone, one of the finest racing circuits on the planet, the home of British motorsport. The GP cars looking very, very comfortable there as they now make their way onto the grid. So then, Angel, what's your predictions heading into race 1? Of course, we've seen a great lap there from Stevenson to get onto pole position. He won race number 1 in round number 2 at Interlagos. Do you think it's time for him to take another race win this season?
Yeah, I think it's time for that championship fight in him to really come alive. I think he needs to come alive this race if he wants to try to keep up with Cody Lawrence. He did miss a round. Obviously, we have a drop round in this championship. Your worst result gets taken out. But even so, he needs to step up his game now and try to get in front of his teammates as Cody Lawrence leads the championship. But I also want to put out the competition from behind: Jack Oliver, Jaap Wagenvoort, even Barberi, and last week's race winner Sean Morteri for CGR. They are not to be forgotten in this race. As we about to start, you see them revving their engines.
The drivers getting ready, revving their engines, sitting patiently, but the tensions will surely be rising. After this one, we are halfway through this season, and it is all to play for in the Formula Trout Sprint Series Season 7, as we wait patiently for the red lights. It is lights out. We are on the way. Great start there for Stevenson, but potentially even a better start there from P2 on the grid for Cody Lawrence as they fly to turn 1. There's another car getting in between the pair of them. Now into turn number 3. Is anyone feeling braver on the brakes? Look at Cody Lawrence trying to get through. Look at Stevenson trying to hold on. But no, up the inside there. He will get done into turn number 3. Jack Oliver. No, not quite. Maybe. Oh, it's going to be neck and neck coming onto the hanger straight. board. Jack Oliver now, he starts in P3 on the grid. And as we fly down into Brooklyn, the first real test of bravery on this circuit, it will be Jack Oliver who forces the pole sitter wide. And Oliver takes the lead of the race. What a brilliant move there. And what a commanding start to this race from that young man. That is exactly what they needed, Angel, to get into the lead as we head into Cops Corner. But he's just about got it done. Still under pressure from behind.
Yeah, I told you, don't count Jack Oliver out. He's a fast driver. He's had some incidents this season, but he is super competitive and should not be forgotten about, especially even if he does qualify behind these guys like Stevenson and Cody Lawrence, as he leads them now coming onto the back straight. See all these lineup of cars. There's, I think that's Sean Morteri there, last week's race winner. And see if maybe Steve Stevenson can fight back with the slipstream coming down into these last two corners. But nah, it just didn't seem too close. I see some younger GB cars. I think that's Cody Lawrence and the team boss, Maximilian Younger, fighting in the back there. Oh, that's an incident in the background. That's an Ford car. That's Clark Hughes. Clark Hughes, and it seems he had an incident with Cody Lawrence. As I see them, as they both got damage on our timing screens.
Yeah, Clark Hughes, of course, missed the last round at Road America. One podium to his name so far this season, and now seemingly beached in the grass on the outside of Stowe. A real shame for him, as they will see the safety car. Sorry, Angel.
Yeah, no, that seemed to have ruined Cody Lawrence's race too now, as he caught up in an incident with Clark Hughes. P16 Cody Lawrence now sits at the back of the field. That's not going to help his championship standings, but it does help his teammate Steve Stevenson and Jack Oliver, who is, I feel, with the rest of the rounds, could be an outside contender for this championship with the pace he's shown.
We'll have to wait and see what he can do, as we see Martin van der Laan looking to the outside, coming through Brooklands, maybe, not quite. As we see them heading through Luffield, all three of the drivers that we see ahead, that's Moriarty and Maxi Younger, as well as Van der Laan, all of them taking the double apex line. Luffield, a fantastic corner. There's so many ways you can attack it, so many ways you can flow your Dallara F317 through it. We've seen drivers taking a single late apex, we've seen drivers taking a single early apex, we've seen double apexes, as we've just seen there. As we now switch our attention to the Frenchman, Thomas Barbary, in P4, hunting down the Dutchman of Jaap Vargevoort. Oh, another driver off the road. There's Van der Laan that's gone wide. No, Snow Jaeger.
Yeah,
Snow Jaeger running wide.
No, that is the event.
No, that is Van der Laan. Yeah, you're right. That is Van der Laan. What's happened to Van der Laan? That was coming into Chapel Corner, the exit of the S's section. A very, very bizarre incident in the air for the Snow Jaeger, plummeting down the order as a result on the Infowar car. But he's managed to get himself going once again in P12 as he comes to the... or Martin van der Laan, should I say. I'll have to wait and see. Oh, confusion here. Martin van der Laan is in P16. Snow Jaeger in P12. It's all chaos here early doors in at round 5 here at Silverstone. 20 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock in this race number 1. On board with Maxi Younger, team boss of Younger GP, a multi-time champion, both in the sprint and in the Premier Series here at Formula Trout. One of the finest Assetto Corsa drivers you'll ever come across. Then we switch to Dylan Burnett, who's fighting further down the pack, chasing down Cody Lawrence. Well, Cody Lawrence is down in P14. Yeah, what's happened to Cody Lawrence?
Yeah, he got caught up in the incident with Clark Hughes. That seemingly, I think he got hit from the rear from Clark Hughes when he span down and got beached into the gravel, which put him down the grid. So this is not good for his championship hopes. 13-point lead, basically now just nullified. Now he's in the back of the grid, not even in the points, while his teammate's in P2. And if he finishes like this, he'll score, well, 15 points, 2 more than the gap he has.
Drama. Early doors here at Silverstone. Championship leader Cody Lawrence caught up in an incident with Clark Hughes. And now he is right down the back of the pack. This is a huge opportunity for Jack Oliver, for Steven Stevenson, for Jaap Vargevoort, all at the front of the pack. As we go back on board with Maxi Younger. That's, well, that's an interesting interpretation of track limits there from the German driver. Making his way now through the Vale chicane Just in front of him is Stephen Moriarty fighting his way through, or Sean Moriarty, should I say. The CRG Racing Romania driver doing a great job holding onto that P6. 19 minutes left on the clock in this one, of course. When the time hits 0, the next time the leader crosses the start-finish line, that is checkered flag and it is all over. We've also got race 2 to look forward to as well, so panic not. Still plenty more action to come your way as Maxi Yoga continues to push onwards. Tell you what though, Angel, this is a fantastic opportunity for Jack Oliver and Steven Stevenson when you've got your championship leader Cody Lawrence down in P14. They've got a huge opportunity to make up big points.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say Jack Oliver, he's in the lead, but he's in the lead, but he's definitely not feeling any pressure. At least it seems like he just had the fastest lap last time around the circuit with a 1:48.5. For context, 1:48.6 is what Steve Stevenson done a tenth slower. So he's definitely trying to pull away now. And he's definitely not feeling the pressure of someone as fast as Steve Stevenson behind him. He's just in his own race right now.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at our race leader on board with Jack Oliver. Pushing his way down the Wellington Straight. 9/10 of a second is the gap back to Steven Stevenson. Oh, Anthony Backwood goes round. That's coming on the exit of Cops Corner. That's a very strange place to drop, and I wonder if he dipped a wheel into the AstroTurf perhaps. Bizarre stuff for Anthony Barrow, but he falls down the order into P16. Of course, we have already lost Clank Hughes from this race number 1 here at Silverstone as Snow Jaeger tries to make his way through Martin, or tries to re-overtake Martin Vanterland, should I say. Vanterland, of course, making his way back through.
And that's another fastest lap for 48.4, proving on himself, Jack Oliver, 48.466. He is not slowing down. He's definitely trying to build out that gap from Steve Stevenson as the gap almost reaches 1 second now.
That is incredible stuff from our race leader on board with Snow Jaeger though in the Infoward car. Looking to the left and looking to the right. Thinks about maybe having to move us all. Someone's big time off the road. Coming
Ryan
into
Hawk.
turn number 3. That is Hawk. That's gone very, very deep there. You saw the puff of smoke on the onboard. And you wonder if maybe that is big time issues. Following Thomas Barbary meanwhile. As we go round here onto the old start finish straight with the Uno GP car, you have Vargenball just in front, and Barbary's in a great position to maybe challenge for a move down into Stowe as they fly through Cops Corner. Look at the tyres being tested there. The absolute utmost of the limit of grip. Now Maggots and Beckett's left and then right and then left and then right before flying into Chapel Corner. Now on to the Wellington Straight. Does Vargenball have enough of a run to keep Barbary behind, or does the Frenchman fancy his chances into Stowe Corner? Let's have a look. No, Barbary's going to be too far behind on this occasion, but keeping Vargenball honest. This pair falling a little bit back from the leaders. Oliver 3.3 seconds ahead of Vargenball. Stevens about a second ahead of them as well. So the front two start. There's Hellas Panos being chased now by Martin Vanterland, and Cody Lawrence just behind him. Angel, when you've had an incident such as the likes of Vanterland or Cody Lawrence early doors in this race, what do you have to do? Because of course there's 2 races in one session. You know it's not all doom and gloom, but you've got to recover as best as you can.
I think it's just a choice of how bad the incident was. I think for Cody Lawrence, I think his goal is just to get back to the top 10. As if he does finish in that bottom top 10, he doesn't get as many points, but he does start on pole position, or at least near the top of the grid for race 2. But then you have the trade-off of not scoring as many positions. That's I think that's Helios moving across the track there with a bit of snap. But yeah, no, for Cody Lawrence, it's going to have to be the trade-off of trying to push, take the risky moves and try to get up to the top of the field for a bigger points haul, or play it safe, just get into the top 10 and maybe just score the maximum amount of points and get in round 2. But I wouldn't put it out for Cody Lawrence to get back up the field. We have seen it is possible with the likes of Jack Oliver after an incident like that to come back up the field and even get on the podium. So we'll have to see. Yeah. Who's following Vantaland for the final points being position in this race. I think he might get a bit of a run here. I think Kelly's Panos is going to get a bit of a run. Panos. Okay, Panos. Panos going to get a bit of a run on Vantaland. As we now swap on board Barbary on board. Go through the first sector.
A big three-way fight for the final points-paying position as we go back on board with Thomas Barbary. So exciting that my microphone decided that it did not want to work anymore. But let's carry on board with the Frenchman, pushing himself to the limit, pushing himself to the very edge of grip as he continues to hunt down the Dutchman in front. What can Wagenvoort, the Lion in front, do against Thomas Barbary? One of the most explosive drivers we've ever seen here in Formula Trout when he made his debut in the Premier Series, rocketed onto the scene and truly made a name for himself. This Sprint Series has not gone his way so far this year, but he could be working his way up onto the podium in just a moment's notice. Angel, when you're stuck behind a driver like Thomas Barbary, or indeed like Cody Lawrence is, as we see now here at Silverstone, what does it take to try and get an overtake done? What do you need to do to push your way through?
I think it is I don't know the exact quote, but it's like, it takes tires to catch up to the guy, but you also need some tires to overtake him as well. I think you have to be patient, just bide your time wisely. He knows he's faster than these guys. He knows he's faster than maybe most of the top 10, besides maybe the top 4 currently, maybe has some damage. So I think he just has to play it safe, be patient, get the moves done, and try to see how far he can get up this grid.
We'll wait and see. 12 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock here in race number 1. Cody Lawrence still stuck behind Panos and Vantaland, the championship leader. He'll be wanting to move forward to try and get the best result that he possibly can. Flying through Stowe corner. Look at the cars moving underneath the drivers. What an absolute spectacle for the eyes. Stowe corner, one of my personal favourites. Here is Silverstone. Oh, big sideways. Big sideways from Panos, who does a great job to save it. An amazing half spin. It allows Cody Lawrence through, but man oh man, Panos, what a save, what a slide. But it does drop him down into P12. Yeah, that's not what you want to see out on the racetrack in front of you as the driver going sideways. That incident, rear tyres. He did save it, of course, but of course rear tyres, his rear tyres. Pops corner now on board with Maxi Younger, team boss of Younger GP, multi-time champion of both the sprint and the... Currently sitting second in the championship table. 3 podiums to his name, one of which was a win, race number 1 at Imola. Of course, the last few years we've not seen much of Maxi. He's been here, there and everywhere, or when we have seen him out on the racetrack, he's been not at his brilliant best, and as I say that, he runs very wide as well, but he is a phenomenal driver, and the German can show us exactly what he can do when he wants to do it. But Antoine Bon is under real pressure right now from the UGP driver behind. 10 minutes left to go, Angel. Jack Oliver's got a 1.5 second lead. You've got to think he's sitting pretty comfortably.
Yeah, and even so, he just had a purple sector 3. This late into the race, he's still lighting the track on fire with his times. I think he's just going to keep growing that gap out more and more until the end of this race. Yeah, we're on. And speaking of times, Maximum Younger, they're 49.7 compared to Barbary's 49. If I could look here, 49.9. So he is faster currently at their current pace. So Antonio Bunn is definitely under a lot of pressure as he almost snaps a bit there, coming out of Brooklands.
Oh, you're looking left, looking right, looking for any way through to the outside at Cobb's corner. Is this the one? Not quite on this occasion, but it's worth a go anyway. Kudos to Maxi Junger for trying what many believe is impossible. But there's plenty of overtaking opportunities, should I say, around here at Silverstone. Barbary, meanwhile, continuing to push on Jaap Wagenvoort, trying to find any way that he can to try and find his way through. And further back, more action as well in this pack. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this one. And it's anyone's guess, Angel, who's going to take the win. Well, I say anyone's guess. Oliver's sitting pretty comfortably up the front, but further down in the pack, there's lots of action going on.
Yeah, and you have two race winners in Maximilian Younger and Sean Morteri about a battle too. So there's interesting battles up and all down the field, even if you can't look at a battle for the win currently, with the gap Olivier has. Even then, I still wouldn't count out Stevenson for the second round, where we're gonna have the top 10 reversed. Even if he isn't second, he still has very strong pace and has better pace than some of the other guys on the grid currently right now. So I wouldn't count him out for cutting up the grid. Ooh, that tap between Wagenvoort and Barbary coming into Brooklands. Barbary gets ahead. Bit of an argy-bargy move right there. But he's able to get ahead, and maybe that'll be reported, but who knows? We'll have to see. But oh, that's Antonio Bunoff. It's Antonio Bunoff. As he taps, I think that's the chicken car of Rodacchia. Or Roberto Rodacchia, and he's now behind him. That's P5 down to P9 now. Big lost position.
Incredible scenes here at Silverstone. Antoine Bunn going off the road. Meanwhile, on board with Sean Moriarty in the CRG car. Can try and find a way through his opponent in Maxi. Maxi trying to break the toe in front, trying desperately to hold on to what he has, but as it stands, nothing is coming into fruition. Now into the Vale chicane, Moriarty maybe fancies the look. No, not on this occasion, it must be said. But Moriarty, he's looking very comfortable. Let's follow Moriarty for a lap, shall we? With 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Yep. Let's go on board and see what this is. Angel, why don't you talk us through what you need to do around here at Silverstone?
Well, Silverstone, I'm not that good at driving, but Silverstone is a track where you do need confidence. A lot of these high speed, low speed, you need real confidence in your car to get the best lap time around here. This first sector is very technical alongside the third sector. As we come down this main straight, as you look at the slipstream from Younger, which should help his lap time. See if he can set a good lap time. And maybe even set a move. You may think about it, but no, he stays behind. This is my favorite section of the track right here. Brooklands, and I forget what the first part's called, but it's a very technical track. Like you said, you take so many lines through it. Very fun to battle through this. Then the part everyone knows from championships 2021 with Max and Lewis and all that. Cops Corner. I think this is flat with these F3 cars, and yeah, it is as Morteri runs a bit wide there, running down to the green AstroTurf. But then the section everyone knows, Maggots and Beckett's, a beautiful section of track, a bright left-right complex. It's very good, slowing down while taking these really nice turns onto the back straight. As he has lost a bit of time to Younger, but he's still pretty close. Morteri is, as I said, last race winner, last week's last race's round race winner at Road America. As he comes into these final few corners into this last chicane, be pretty confident on the brakes and be able to get as much of the throttle out as you can to get a run through this last corner onto the Hamilton Straight, as it was renamed a few years ago, to finish the lap of Silverstone. Ooh, we switch on to Cody Lawrence.
Yeah, what's going on?
Across the line as well.
Yeah, what's going on with Cody
He is
Lawrence?
catching up. He's catching up to the top 10. That's what it is. He's about to reach Vantaland and finally get into the top 10 with 4 minutes to go.
He is indeed. Thank you very much, Angel, for that on board. A fantastic insight into what the drivers have to negotiate with here at Silverstone. As Antoine Bunn, meanwhile, under big pressure from behind, going on the maximum defensive, is Antoine Bunn. And maybe getting attacked around the outside. No, won't go on this occasion from Roberto Rodosha. But
yeah,
it was
Chicken Car does have one
nonetheless.
podium to his name. Fun fact. Chicken Car. Stella Alnak with the brothers. His brother's not here, but Roberto Rodacci is here. Mark Rodacci is not here this round. We get to see his brother in this the Chicken Car, as it's called, fight Antonio's Bunn's beautiful livery for in black blue.
Well, that's how it is sometimes. That is how it is. I mean, of course, Formula Trout, it's a series of friendship and families, and sometimes brothers as well. We've had many a brother in the past. Of course, the famous Amorum siblings, famous faces around here in Formula Trout. And now we've got others here as well. On board with Antoine Bunn, looking back. And not a lot to see because his rear wing is getting in the way. But a lovely view of the Silverstone. If you ever get the I should say that off the track goes back.
As Snowdiager gets into an incident, from what I see, he's spun. I'm pretty sure, or at least hit the wall in some type of way.
There might be an incident maybe somewhere. Let's see if we can try and have a look. If there's an incident, we'll wait and see. But as it stands, 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. Yep, Wagenvoort is trying to get back around Thomas Barbary as they come down into Brooklands. And then making their way back round Assetto Corsa, looking, I must say, it looks wonderful for a game that is over 10 years old nowadays. And then pushing their way through.
Cody Lawrence is just about to break into the top 10. He's around like a 10th behind. And yeah, here we go onto the main straight of this track. We got him trying to go around the outside of Vantaland and see if he can make it stick. No, he just decides to stick behind, but maybe he'll try to go around the outside here in Brooklands. Yeah, takes that wider line. He's going to try to cut back in, get an exit. Oh!
What happened? What happened?
He got to the green stuff. The AstroTurf, or the green track on AC, is not kind to your tires when it comes to traction. I've had that happen to me too before.
It happened to me as well, Martin Vantaland. Unfortunately, my son, you have been caught out by the Assetto Corsa green AstroTurf of death. And you've caught it and it sent you the wrong way. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this race number 1, should I say. And Jack Oliver, well, he has an absolutely commanding lead. Again, when he hits the line, if it's the checkered flag, if the clock is 0, it is over. Race is done. We move on to race 2. If he hits the line and there's 1 second left, then there is 1 more lap left to go. But looking where he is on the track, I think we'll have another lap. So, Jack Oliver, it's been pretty phenomenal from him. Let's see what he can do as he makes his way through Luffield and pushing on forward.
I think if you really want to, you could just slow down and wait for the timer to run out, so when you cross the line, that is the last lap.
He absolutely could. He could. But, actually, I also got my predictions wrong earlier. I thought he was at a different part of the circuit. He is, in fact, the last lap. Because he's coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. And, well, you're not going to make it through Maggots and Beckett's in about 10 seconds. So, let's just say that Jack Oliver has got the race in the palm of his hand. Looking behind, there is Steven Stevenson, the American, who has done amazing things in Formula Trout. Currently P3 in the championship. But he cannot challenge P5 in the championship. Jack Oliver has got a chicane and a corner to go. Through Vale he flows. The crowd roars. And the Yankee wins on red coat soil. Jack Oliver wins race number 1 here at Silverstone. And what a race it was from that young man. Brilliant, brilliant performance from him. Jack Oliver, once again, a race winner here in the Formula Trout Sprint Series. As we wait to see where everyone else crosses the line. But what a race that was. Jack
Yeah,
Oliver, of course, took the benefits, but elsewhere, we see the likes of Snow Jaeger, Clank Hughes falling down, Martin Mantel and Cody Lawrence as well, falling well down the order. Some big issues happened there.
Oh, and it seems he may have had an incident too. As he's in P11, he was in the top 10. He's not even going to score a point this race.
Wow. Wow, Cody Lawrence, pointless, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Silverstone, Northamptonshire. It's the mother of all tracks. It's the track that, if you grow up, I'm sure you're not aware of this, Angel. I'm sure because you didn't grow up on these Fair Isles. But if you grow up on these Fair Isles, you're told to treat Silverstone with caution, with respect, because you know that the mistress can punish you. And on this occasion, punish is what Silverstone has done to Cody Lawrence. P11, he is outside of the points and has reopened the championship battle and then some. It is all to play for here. So then, Angel, race 1 done and dusted. What have we got to look forward to in race 2?
I think we got to look forward to that back row. It's not, most people don't look at it when the race starts, but Jack Oliver and Steve Stevenson on the back row of the top 10 is going to be interesting to watch. And with their pace, even if Steve Stevenson was a slight bit slower, he was still very fast in comparison to the rest of the grid. I think it'd be fun to see all of them see the both of them climb through the grid alongside some other drivers like, and to be fair, Cody Lawrence, P11, he won't be reversed. Obviously, he's outside the top 10, so he's going to start right behind them. So it could give a chance for Cody Lawrence to maybe get the jump on them and kind of unsettle them a bit.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I believe that we're going to take a little break while we're waiting for race number 2 to get set up. And unless anything gets told in my ear that I'm talking absolute nonsense, I will continue with this onwards. So yes, I've not had that in my ear. So yeah, I will say yes, we are going to go on a break for race number 2 here in the Formula Trout Sprint Series Season 7. So thank you very much for joining us for race number 1, and we'll be back shortly after a few moments for race number 2.
And we're back. Ross, the man, is taking a break, bathroom break. So, but we are about to go live. Kill them revving their engines. Oh, as the lights are out, as we wait for them to turn red. Savannah on pole alongside Roberto Radacci. We still on that car. Steve Stevenson, Jack Oliver, Cody Lawrence at the back of the grid. As the lights go out, championship contenders in the back. Two drivers in the front, and it's lights out, and away we go. For round 2 here at Silverstone, this classic British circuit. Waiting for the cameras to catch up. I think it's Vantelane still in pole, side by side with Radacci. Make right ahead. Tony won, finished P8, started 3rd, right behind the pack of them. As I think he's going to try to think of a move. No, he thinks better of it as Thomas Baveri. There's incidents in the back. And that's a few drivers off. Anthony Baruch, Kevin Vanett. I've seen they all got damaged. That's Helios Pano is also caught up. Cody Lawrence is P11. Thomas Baveri is P13. That's the other Impact Blue driver. My apologies. Maximilian Younger, P14. Some incidents in the front. Keith Williams has taken the lead now from the leaderboard standing. Vantelane second, but Vantelane's going to fight it. That Vantelane keeps the lead. I'm reading the safety car. But Vantelane's keeping the lead. But Roberto Radacci is going to fight this into Cobb's corner. And around the outside, he takes the lead from Vantelane, the in-forward car. As now we see him lead, and that's side by side. I think that's Antonio Bono alongside Steve Stevenson for P4. Steve Stevenson already up the grid. I think they've had a bit of a contact. Tiny touch from what I see in my live timing page. Yeah, Blackwood with a bit of front wing damage. And seemingly with Steve Stevenson is, yeah, you can see him right there. We were close. That's Jack Oliver getting past Steve Stevenson once again at the end of the first lap. So at the start, as he goes for a move on the in-forward car, he's able to just make it around, stick around the outside. He's going to keep it around the outside as Steve Stevenson, I think, is now under immense pressure. He's just been caught out of line, caught off guard just over and over again. I think this is not the greatest. It's still a great start. He's still P5, but Jack Oliver P3. Sean Marteri, the Road America winner from last race, here in P6. Tony Bun right behind him. This has been an intense race 1. Cody Lawrence P8 behind Bun. This has been an intense first lap. 22 minutes to go. We've just started this race, and they are all still close to each other, and all within that effective slipstream range, which is going to allow them to get all the moves done. Sean Marteri thinking around the outside, sticking to the outside line now, coming to the inside. Thinks better of it. Thinks he can get a move done better elsewhere. As they go now out of Cobb's corners. Ooh, that's a car going wide. I think that was Jack Oliver. That's another car going wide. That's, oh no! Oh, that's Jack Wadmore. Got caught in the grass. He's able to get out the way, but he slid across the whole track. That was scary to watch. My heart just froze for a second there. As that's one of the younger cars back there. Who is that? That is Cody Lawrence from P12. Another incident sent him to the back of the grid. This is not the start he needed, especially with finishing P11, going pointless in race 1.
It is absolutely not the start that Cody Lawrence wanted, is it, Angel? Going backwards. Oh, goodness gracious me. What a chaotic start to race number 2 here at Silverstone. But as the drivers all continue to push on, it's going very, very well in their favour. Sorry, was that Angel?
Yeah, oh, that's a big send from Thomas Baveri on one of the forward cars of Snowdieger, and gets up into P10 into the top 10. How do Stevens? That's a CGR car. Oh my god, almost sliding, going wide, losing all. It's Ryan Hawk, P11 now, about to get passed by Cody Lawrence. Also, this has been an intense back of the pack race here. Cody Lawrence, Maximilian Younger, Ryan Hawk, both the forward cars, all just scrapping this back of the top 10 after some incidents on the first lap. Ooh, that's Cody Lawrence. I just can't seem to get it together. He lost the rear there, had to catch it. Not a P14. It's not the race 2 he needed nor wanted, and it doesn't seem to get And hopefully it gets better from here, but it's not seeming the case as of right now. As on board with on the rear wing of Maximilian Youngerdink, followed by Thomas Berry, his teammate for younger GP cars. He might be trying to overtake his own team boss here for some more points. I don't think it's close enough right now as they come into Kopp's corner. But as it stands, an unexpected leader of the race, Roberto Rodacchia, where Stallmatic leads the race, but it may not stay like that for long. The podium said the last time out of Road America, going to get passed by the winner in Imola, Jack Oliver, as it goes down the inside into Stowe, and just is able to get the move done and get into the lead. Roberto Rodacchia breaks late, tries to keep up, but kind of messes up his line there, and now it's going to be under pressure from Steve Stevenson coming onto the Hamilton straight.
A lovely move there.
Yeah, it was
lovely move by Jack.
Oliver. Oh, Thomas Berry's out. He hits his teammate. He hits the decor.
Jaap Wagevoort, Snowed, Jaeger coming together here at Silverstone.
And that wasn't even the first for Thomas Berry out. Done for the day. DNF.
Not even 100 miles from the Netherlands, the two countrymen come to blows, and it is all done and dusted. They drop right down the order. Meanwhile, Kevin Vant continues to push onwards. Looks to the inside, maybe no. Cody Lawrence does look to the inside. Great move from Cody Lawrence there on Robin Hall. And getting through, and now he's got Max Younger in front to focus on. Fantastic stuff. A few drivers here. Sorry, Angel.
Yeah, Jack Oliver leading this race, but what a great position for Roberto Rodacchia, the Stallmatic car, last time out. Got a podium in Road America. Yes, he did. Got third in Road America in the second round, and now he's even in another second round. In one of these race weekends, he's going to get another good result. He does get passed by Stevenson, but Rodacchia is a good driver. He can't keep up, and he does do a good defense. So he could keep this B3 for these next 17 minutes if he really does try and defend from the back of the pack like Vantala and Morat.
Be interesting to see. Oh, challenging to the outside goes Vanit. Oh, what a... Kevin Vanit, Flowers, they're still side by side as they come to the start-finish line. Vanit gets into the points-paying positions, but man, oh man, Hawk made him fight for it. Kevin Vanit goes to beat him, but for how much longer? As Hawk goes down the inside, but it's a late dive bomb. That interlude does not always work, and indeed it doesn't. As into turn 3, Ryan Hawk runs out of road and runs out of racetrack. Onto the grass he goes, dropping well backwards from there. But man, oh man, some great racing action that we have just seen. Meanwhile, here's his teammate, Sean Moriarty, looking for maybe a move into Cobb's corner. I'd be surprised if he tried into Cobb's, but maybe into Maggots and Beckett's. Cobb's is a place you can't make a move. Maggots and Beckett's in a car this size, the size of the Dallara F317, should I say. You can make a move if you are brave enough. Left, right, then left, and right again. And then into Chapel onto the hangar straight. What has Sean Moriarty got in his locker? Does he have any of that leftover turbo boost, fast and furious button pressing magic? No, not on this occasion. 16 minutes left to go in this one, Angel. Up the front, Olivier has bolted away 2.5 seconds. There is a right fight on our hands for the podium positions.
Yeah, Jack Olivier comfortably after starting again at the back of the top 10, already up into the lead, and has already pulled the gap to Stevenson, thanks to all the chaos on that first lap. But yeah, I think this might be another comfortable race for him, just off the bat, seeing the times he's putting in right now, still putting into personal best sectors. As Cody Lawrence P9 sets the purple second sector, so he's definitely fast. He can make it up the grid, but I think still there's going to be a solid win for Olivier just from the start of this.
Looking back, you can see a nose poking its way into our vision as they head through Brooklands and then Luffield. But no openings for a move on this occasion for Martin van der Lande. Roberto Radiocha is holding firm onto that podium. That was van der Lande maybe with a move, not quite to the inside. He certainly had a little look to the inside at Cobb's corner, poked a nose, tested the rubber, saw how he felt, but decided against it. As they continue to fly on by someone very, very wide there through Maggots and Beckett. That's very interesting. I'm hoping that no one has had any major issues. Now flying down the back straight into Stoke Corner. Someone's under big pressure here. And of course it is drying van der Lande on Moriarty. Can't quite make the move appear, but that was got to go nonetheless. Into Vale we go. And man, oh man, this battle is one for the ages.
It's a new fastest lap, 148.463 for Olivier. He is definitely trying to build up that gap again that he built in the first race. You hear these pack 3 cars, the Ford, CRG, and the Stalin on the car. Roberto Radaccia could benefit from this. He has all these 3 cars behind him fighting. This could help him stick onto that podium alongside his very defensive driving style right now. He's trying to keep this podium until that checkered flag falls and get a second podium for his season.
Can van der Lande try and poke his way through ahead of Moriarty? Can Moriarty try and poke his way through ahead of Radiocha? At this moment it seems like no, but maybe van der Lande, that could be brave. Decides against it. Teases up tantalizingly, but decides not to go for the move down to the box. And of course that affects his momentum through Maggots and Beckett, which affects his momentum all the way down to Stowe. It's a waiting game, motorsport, isn't it? Waiting for racing and waiting for the brilliant moves. And Martin van der Lande nearly had one of them then. Sean Moriarty doing a great job to hold on for the time being as they push their way through into the Vale chicane. Can Moriarty maybe slide up the inside? No. Also doesn't go defensive though. He's holding on to position well. An equidistant gap forming between himself, Radiocha in front, and van der Lande behind. So he's in a very comfortable position as it stands. 12 minutes, just under 12 minutes left to go, Angel. Been up front, Jacques Olivier, he's disappeared.
Yeah, it's going to be if it stays like this, anything can happen, but if it does stay like this has been a dominant weekend for Olivier. He's had some incidents in the past few rounds, point scoring rounds. He's had a few incidents. He's been rough around the edges, but I think this race has definitely shown he has the pace to just straight up lead a race from the start of race 1 to the end of race 2. This is gonna be, and if it stays like this, it's gonna be our first back-to-back win in a single round of the Sprint Series, at least for this season. Yeah, Roberto Radaccia, losing that podium position to Morat. Got a podium last round, and it seemingly with that move is going to get a podium this round in Silverstone. Not as nice. This last podium was a win in the second round of Road America, but third place is always good as. Ooh, that's a cargo wide. That's Maximilian Younger just cutting through the inside of the last corner. Maggots and Beckett.
Unfortunate there from Max Younger, just running a little bit wide as he headed into Chapel. A bit of a kick up of the dust, but nothing too concerning as we focus our attention back to the front of the action. Antoine, as we're following, currently in a... Well, actually, Antoine once got past Martin van der Laan because Martin van der Laan was in P5 the last time we saw, and then suddenly there's a Frenchman sat there where there should be the Dutchman. So Antoine has managed to work their way.
Oh, and Anthony
back
Baru and
through.
Cody Lawrence have had an incident. Anthony Baru and Cody Lawrence have had an incident. They're both on the side of the track, and that's Baru retired. He's in the pits. Cody Lawrence is now just coming out of the gravel. We missed that, but saw all the incident reports on the live time and come up. The yellow flag. Oh, and Cody Lawrence stopped, and he's retired. This is not the weekend he has needed. 0 points in round 1, race 1, and a DNF in race 2. This is a nightmare weekend for Cody Lawrence.
Unbelievable. Championship leader, Cody Lawrence. He's come back British side this weekend and had the worst weekend in memory. A no points score and then a DNF. Goodness gracious me. Someone get that man a drink because he is going to be absolutely furious, is Cody Lawrence. As we see the cars, Magnus and Beckett's there on board now with our race leader, Jack Olivier, who's sitting very, very comfortably at the moment. Just under 9 minutes, should I say, left to go on the timesheet. And 4.5 seconds to the good. He has been superb this weekend. And well, you can't follow him really, can you? As he heads through. It's been a fantastic weekend. Jack Olivier of Macca Racing. And long may it continue across the rest of the season. He has been in his absolute element. Making his way into the loop section. With no concerns inside. It's basically a virtual testing session from at this point. As there we see the American Stevenson shortly following, or I say shortly following them, Stephen Moriarty, or Sean Moriarty should I say, will be behind them. Stevenson, it must be said, he's done a great job this weekend to be in P2. But it must be said, Angel, Jack Olivier, he's so far in front. It's 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. At this point, Stevenson really needs Olivier to make a mistake.
Yeah, Steve Stevenson is a strong driver. He's fast. He has the pace. It's just Jack Oliver just had a bit more of it this weekend, and yeah, it's gonna just hurt a bit to not get the race win in either race. After not having a race win since I think the second round, as the first round was an announced points scoring round, so the second round, Dallara, that was his first win of the season, only win. He's been on the podium 3 times, the other 2 times being second place, 2 second places at Imola. And I think it's just going to hurt to get another back-to-back second places when he knows he probably could have gone for the win if he just drove a bit better.
Seven minutes left on the clock. We were briefly on board with the Dutchman, Martin van der Laan. Now we're on board with the German, Max Younger. One of the most legendary drivers here in Formula Trout. One of the most legendary drivers in Assetto Corsa Sim Racing. Let's see if he can try and negotiate his way forward over the remaining few laps. With 6 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Apparently everyone's sitting very comfortably at the moment in this race number 2. It was 5 drivers lost. We lost Thomas Barbary, Barrio, and of course Cody Lawrence as well, leaving us with 12 cars left running. So some big names getting dropped out early doors here in race number 2. Maybe Max Younger are under attack here potentially. Because, well, actually I say that, Max Younger has actually got through Martin van der Laan. I glanced away from the to the live timing from the action on track, and as I head back on track, Max Younger up in front of Martin van der Laan. Wow, Brilliant stuff there from the GP driver, and that is exactly what he wanted. How can Martin Vanderland respond? And his response is a big, big slide over the exit of Pop's corner. Not ideal in any circumstance. Through Mackett, Beckett, and now Chappell, the left-hander here. The curb, in real life, a little bit shorter than that. You'll often see with actual racing series at Silverstone a bit of dust being kicked up there. Then into Stowe corner. If you head to Silverstone in real life and manage to have the privilege to stand on the on top of the pit building as well and look back down at Stowe, racing cars move so fast through Stowe that you don't actually hear them hitting the curb until they reach the Vale chicane. There's a little fun fact for you there. But 4 minutes 40 left to go on the clock, Angel. And well, Antoine Bunn as well looks pretty comfortable. Right now it's really a battle for 5th place.
Yeah, 5th place is where the main fight is, with the Oliviers dominating at the top of the field. But yeah, I think this 5th place is going to be the main fight we're going to be watching with the last 4 minutes. I think it's Maximilian Younger leading the train, Vantila and Rodaccia falling behind. Even then, I think Younger is a good enough driver to maybe keep this 5th place. He did get 5th place the first race, so it'd be good to get another 5th place, get another decent points haul, even if the second race does give lesser points.
And yeah, Wagenborg is had a very disappointing weekend, or evening, should I say.
Yeah, Wagenborg caught up in incidents, currently 9th. Just hasn't been a great race weekend. He's definitely could have been stronger. I think that goes for a lot of the guys around the midfield. There's a lot of incidents they could have avoided, or just been lucky enough to not been in. But still, they still have points to fight for here. As we're on the TV cameras for Rodaccia now chasing Vantila and Younger. Was up in P1 at the start of this race, so just falling back from these guys, getting up to pace, getting up to speed. Yeah, on P7, still scoring points, but definitely could have been a lot better. And just doing some math right now, I'm pretty sure if Younger finishes 5th, Cody is not scoring any points, and Steve Stevenson gets 2 second places. At least with the math I've done, using Google Sheets, Jack Oliver should come out this round the championship leader.
Wow. Now that is a change of pace. Race leader Jack Olivier is going to come out of this race as we enter the halfway point of the season as the championship leader. Unbelievable. Of course, we've seen Cody Lawrence have, by his standards, a dire weekend. But with 1 minute 45 left on the clock, he's got enough time. But he could finish the race blindfolded and backwards. Such is his lead. He is absolutely dominating out there. Behind him, there's Stephen Stevenson. Moriarty in P3. The podium finishes almost all in a bit of a no man's land sort of zone. They are so separated as Olivier starts the final lap of this race. What a race it has been from Angel, and taking the championship lead at the halfway mark, that's got to feel pretty special.
Yeah, Jack Olivier, he's been caught in incidents in past races. He's had to climb up the field, have similar races to some of the guys this round. Put in the same situation Cody Lawrence was in Interlagos. Both races got into incidents, was thrown to the back of the pack, and was able to, just with pure pace, cut through the field and catch up to the leaders, especially in the first race. And I watched that live. I was commentating that. It was just insane to watch him start the race, get hit around the second sector, and spin off and go into the P19 to watch him climb all the way back up near Interlagos to get onto the podium. It was insane to watch, and he's proven he has the skills, he's proven he has the pace, he's proven he has the mentality to be a champion in the Sprint Series. And I think we're going to see that point proven as when he crosses this finish line at Silverstone to take a double race win here at the legendary British circuit.
Absolutely. Jack Olivier. Checkered flag is now out when he crosses the line next time. The clock has hit 0 with a handful of corners to go. What a performance it has been from that young man to bring it home all the way to the line. As we see a camera going wildly over there. I'll pass over to you, Angel. Call him home. Jack Olivier for the race win.
Jack Olivier, he's had the pace all day. He's been dominant all day. And the Frenchman, the French driver, wins both rounds of Silverstone in a completely dominant fashion. Gets both race wins, gives 25 and 15 points respectively. Steve Stevenson and Rat complete at the podium. This race, and I don't think he had any competition from the start of race 1 to the end of race 2. See him now on the tarmac. I think he might be doing some donuts. I think he might have hit the wall though. But number 289, that is your race winner for today.
Man, oh man, oh man. What an evening of Formula Trout action. Jack Olivier dominates Silverstone, the home of British motorsport, here in Season 7 of the Formula Trout Sprint Series. And we, of course, have hit our halfway point in the championship as well. As there we see Snowjaeger. Is he out of fuel? Yeah, I think he's out of gas.
Yes, he's out of fuel. You can hear the engine just running idle.
I was going to say, I didn't think we were tuning into a Formula E race, but silence is golden, as they say. Snowjaeger, he will be classified P11 at the end of this one, unless Hawk is able to beat him to the line. Let's wait and see who's able to get there first. Can Snowjaeger get it? No, not quite. Oh, he DNF'd as well. Oh, that is a shame. I'm sure the stewards, in retrospect, will give him the position that he deserves on the championship standings. But it is Olivier that takes the win from Stevens, Moriarty P3, Antoine Bonnet P4, Max Hugo 5th, Radocia in 6th, Vanet in 7th, Wagenvort in 8th, Panos in 9th, and Panos in 10th, should I say. And then we see Reinhold doing some donuts. He finishes in P11. What an incredible evening of racing we've seen here, Angel. Once again, Formula Trout Sprint Series is proving its worth.
Yeah, great racing, a dominant performance from the French driver Olivier, and excitement to come. Halfway point, new championship leader on 89 points, with Stevenson only being a few points behind him.
It is getting very, very tight in the championship table indeed. But that is all we've got time for here at Formula Trout. Looks like no one is wanting an interview because they're all very, very boring, as is normally the case here with all of our drivers. Honestly, tell me all about it. Thank you very much for joining us here. And again, thank you, Angel, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to share the commentary box with you.
No problem. Same to you as we end this race weekend. Absolutely.
Make sure you join us September 15th. That evening, of course, in the UK, there may be a go-karting world champion crowned, but here at Formula Trout, we're heading to a virtual circuit designed by one of our own. We're heading to Greifswald. We're heading to the Eagle's Nest. We're heading to Germany. We'll see you then, September 15th.